let's talk about Brothers. This new move added by Z in the update that completed Toto's awakening is, to put it kind of lightly, a little too good. Or maybe that's not it. Maybe I'm just bitter over Plasma Wave being complete garbage. Let me explain what I mean. Toto's move called Brothers is pretty simple. It enters a long windup that, if cancelled, does roughly 70 damage to whoever cancelled the move. A crazy amount that is pretty much enough to kill anybody, as long as you pair it with any other move of his, like climax jumping. If that windup is not cancelled, Toto instead swaps with Yuji on his own, and Yuji does a little dash forward before black flashing, which does a whopping 100 damage to whoever you hit. Really, if you think about it, it's kind of like Yield My Flesh to claim their bones, except if Yield My Flesh was better than bone claiming. God, I hope someone watching this understands what the hell I mean by that. Really good move that makes fighting Toto insanely scary for two reasons. One, it stops you from attacking him recklessly, because any wrong move that gets predicted means your HP bar is gonna disappear. Doubly so if you're playing Yuji or Megumi, who only have 85 HP and will absolutely lose their HP bar. It forces whoever's fighting it to play uber careful in a way that gives Toto just so much more freedom to move around, because you can't attack him freely until you've baited it out, while he can wail on you as much as he wants. For Awakening vs Awakening combat, this is especially meaningful because of how Awakening vs Awakening combat tends to be just slugging the other person with moves and trying to get the other person in your one-shot combo first, which, having a counter like that, or Head Splitter, stops them from doing. All of these easy-to-hit moves that have virtually no counterplay in the game end up meaning nothing if you lose 70 HP for using it. However, that's not all, because if that was it, then it'd just be some budget Head Splitter. No. We've got the second part of the move, the mist version that does 100 damage. This thing is easy as hell to confirm. One uppercut on someone with no ragdoll cancel guarantees you land the move. And while that might sound a little tough, it really isn't, because getting rid of ragdoll cancels is easy, since all of Toto's moves ragdoll. Bottom line being that it's stupidly good, since if you land an M1 combo on anybody, regardless of if they're awakened or not, they're dead. Instant shutdown on any awakening that isn't Divine, Ass Beat, or Raga if they get M1'd. And I know what you're all going to say. Noob Eternally, doesn't everybody have some crazy one-shot move off of an uppercut in their awakening? Well, you'd be half right. Let's go case by case. Gojo has Infinite Void, which, as long as you land it while also having Hollow Purple off cooldown, does indeed guarantee that you one-shot someone. It's a conditional one-shot, sure, but it technically counts as being a one-shot move off of an uppercut. Thing is, it's conditional. Having that one-shot into an uppercut means you're locked out of having a third move for your awakening until you've landed Domain Expansion, unlike Toto, who has no such limitation. And unlike Brothers, this thing is cancelable, so you're limited to using it only in an uppercut combo, whereas Toto gets to counter people with the move, and if he screws up a combo or something, it's impossible to punish him for it. Sukuna has Malevolent Shrine, and this thing is arguably even better. As long as you have any of his guard breaks like Open or Rush off cooldown, you can shut down the one way to counterplay this move, and people are pretty much forced to die since your guard breaks will force them to tank a ton of slashes. Reason this thing is worse than Brothers is the same reason that Gojo's domain is worse than Brothers. Conditional on you not wasting your guard breaks before you use it, interruptible unlike Brothers, yada 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 yada. He also does technically have World Cutting Slash, which is actually pretty similar to Brothers in that it can be uncancelable, though only if you jump in the air and use it, and it does crazy huge damage. Strength-wise, the moves are pretty close, though there is one thing against it, which is that Sukuna doesn't get uppercuts, and so he doesn't get extended ragdoll timing, meaning that you can't true combo into World Slash like you can with Brothers. There is a downside of the move consuming all three of your first move's cooldowns too, though that's easily avoidable since you can just use them first and then use Dismantle, since it only requires you to use Dismantle, not Open or Rush. Hikari doesn't have one of these types of moves, but you can argue that he really doesn't need it, because his moves just generally combo into each other well enough to make up for it, and he has an immortality gimmick. And on that point, I actually don't disagree. Megumi doesn't have one of these types of moves, and people generally view his Awakening as kind of bad actually, though those who think that probably don't know he has a true one-shot combo off of Great Serpent, but this video isn't here to glaze Megumi, and generally let's just say that he doesn't have something like this since it's not a move so much as a combo. That move is taken up by Mahoraga, and the closest thing Mahoraga has to an ultimate one-shot is World Cutting Slash, which can be dodged. It only does roughly 50 damage. Still great, mind you, but nowhere near on the same level as Brothers, though Mahoraga's other stats make up for that to an extent. Mahito is a little interesting in that he has two one-shot moves in his first awakening, and another one-shot in his super awakening. Auto Transfiguration is nowhere on the same level of Brothers, and the reason why is obvious. You gotta wait a ton of time before using it, so it only technically counts as an instant kill, but it's way closer to a 2-shot. I'm only going over it so that people don't say I forgot about it or anything. As for his domain, self-embodiment of perfection, this thing is actually really good. It's not tied to any conditionals at all, unlike Gojo or Sukuna's, where they have to save some moves to capitalize off of the domain expansion, since Mahito can really easily just walk up to someone and make them pop, no moves needed. It's one of the only one-shots where there's some significant advantage that it has over Brothers, which makes the fact that it's really easy to interrupt if not used properly kind of balanced, and that you can very easily kill groups of people with it due to how the perfection meter works. Super solid move, only one I'd consider to be on the exact same level. Finally, as for Head Splitter, this is a straight up one-shot counter, but that's not nearly as good as Brothers, even if the Brothers counter isn't a one-shot. I say that because landing a counter on someone is harder to do than simply landing an M1 combo. Because with landing a counter, you need to accurately predict someone, and if you mess up, there goes your one-shot. Meanwhile, with Todo, the counter acts more like an option, but it's a lot easier to go for the one-shot combo since there's no variables like people faking attacks or baiting out the counter. More so just, if you get them in the combo, they're dead. Head Splitter is good, don't get me wrong, but it's nowhere near as versatile as Brothers. And then you got Choso with Plasma Wave. Arguably, no, actually screw that, it is THE worst awakening move in the game, and it's not even close. Even after getting some buffs, it's still mediocre at best, and I'm gonna rant about it here, because Brothers feels like it got everything that Plasma Wave should have had. So, let's compare them. Starting with similarities, Brothers and Plasma Wave are both capable of one-shotting people. That's really the only similarity. They're both one-shots, but holy hell are the differences huge. Brothers true combos off an uppercut and cannot be punished. Plasma Wave does not true combo off an uppercut and can be punished no matter what type of ragdoll you try to use to confirm it. Brothers, if someone attempts to M1 you during it, does a 70 damage counter. Plasma Wave, if someone M1s you during it, leads to you eating whatever combo they have in store for you. Brothers has 0 penalty on use. Plasma Wave takes away a portion of your awakening bar. No, seriously, why is this a thing? The move is already ass enough! Oh, hey, here's a positive. Plasma Wave has some range to it. No, it doesn't. So this one I have to explain. Plasma Wave and Brothers are both technically one-shots, but Plasma Wave is only a one-shot if you land it point blank. The damage scales off of how close your target is to you, meaning that if you try and land it at a range, which is the only way you can land this outside of one super specific and hard to accomplish combo, where you use a Supernova Orb before you awaken to then confirm Plasma Wave like it's Charge Piercing Blood, good luck doing this because getting hit once means that you can't do this combo ever again by the way, is useless. If you try and snipe someone with this move so that it doesn't get cancelled, you do piss poor damage. Great job, buddy. You dealt 20 damage to poor Joe Smo over there, whose internet service provider messed up, only for the small cost of awakening time. That's if you land it, by the way, which is not gonna happen because of how easy the move is to dodge. I don't get it. Really, I don't. Why the hell does Plasma Wave have all these drawbacks? Why? Why? Why does Choso have to keep taking L's? The move is legitimately only usable if you jump someone with your friends, or pull off the combo that requires you to not get hit in your awakening. I guess if you learn some hacking skills and figure out how to DDoS your opponent mid-round, it could be usable too. How nice of the game to give Choso mains a reason to do something with their life and learn a useful skill like hacking. No, but really, Brothers is just hard to justify when Plasma Wave is so undeniably awful. I don't honestly know if Brothers needs to be nerfed or if Plasma Wave needs to be buffed, though I'm heavily leaning towards the option of give Plasma Wave iframes. They're both one-shots, one is insanely good, and one is completely useless. And seeing Brothers made me remember just how bad Plasma Wave is. I'll say it one more time before closing the video off. Plasma Wave gets rid of Awakening Meter, is easily punishable, does very little damage at the long range where it can actually safely be used, and can't be comboed into. Meanwhile, Brothers has no penalty, can't be punished, guarantees either 70 damage or 100 damage as long as you land the counter or the hit, and you can guarantee a combo easily. That's all I gotta say. I hope Plasma Wave gets some sort of change because the disparity between these two moves is just so noticeable. But you know what? I'm one guy. I don't know everything. So let me know in the comments what you think. That's all I have to say for today. I'm Move Eternally, thanks for watching, and I really hope you subscribe since it helps me out a lot. Have a good day, and bye.